At first, Krebs did not want to talk about the war at all. Later, he felt the need to talk, but no one wanted to hear about it. His town had heard too many stories to be thrilled by actualities. Krebs found that to be listened to at all, he had to lie, and after he had done this twice, he too had a reaction against the war and against talking about it. A distaste for everything that had happened to him in the war set in because of all the lies he had told. All of the times that had been able to make him feel cool and clear inside himself when he thought of them, the times so long back when he had done the one thing, the only thing for a man to do, easily and naturally, when he might have done something else, now lost their cool. Valuable quality, and then were lost themselves.
He sat there on the porch reading a book on the war. It was a history, and he was reading about all the engagements he had been in. It was the most interesting reading he had ever done. He wished there were more maps. He looked forward with a good feeling to read all the really good histories when they would come out with the good detailed maps. Now he was really learning about the war. He had been a goat soldier. That made a difference.
Nothing was changed in the town except the young girls had grown up. But they lived in such a complicated world of already defined alliances and shifting feuds that Krebs did not feel the energy or courage to break into it. There were so many good-looking young girls. Most of them had their hair cut short. When he went away, only little girls wore their hair like that, or girls that were fast. They all wore sweaters and shirt-waists with round Dutch collars. It was a pattern. He liked to look at them from the front porch as they walked on the other side of the street. He liked to watch them walking under the shade of the trees. He liked the round Dutch collars above their sweaters. He liked their silk stockings and flat shoes. He liked their bobbed hair and the way they walked.
I had a talk with your father last night, and he's willing to let you take the car out in the evenings.
Yeah? Take the car out?
Yes, your father has felt for some time now that you should be able to take the car out in the evenings, whenever you wish, but we only talked of it last night.
I bet you made him.
No, it was your father's suggestion, but like I said, we only talked it over last night. Harold, will you please just come down for breakfast?
I bet you made him.
Well there, you old sleepyhead. What do you ever get up for?
Have you got the paper?
Harold, don't mess up the paper. You know your father can't read his star when you've mussed up the paper.
I won't muss it.
We're playing indoor this afternoon at school, and I'm gonna pitch.
Good. How's the old wing?
I can pitch better than a lot of the other boys. I'll tell them you taught me.
Yeah?
I'll tell them you're my beau. Aren't you my beau?
You bet.
Couldn't your brother really be your beau because he's your brother?
I don't know.
Sure, you know. Couldn't you be my beau if I was old enough and you wanted to?
Sure. You're my girl now.
Really your girl?
Sure.
Do you love me?
Uh-huh.
Will you always love me?
Sure.
Will you come over and watch me play indoor?
Maybe.
Here, you don't love me. If you loved me, you would come over and watch me play.
You run along, Helen. I want to talk to Harold for just a minute. Harold, I wish you would just put down that paper 1 second. Harold, have you decided what you're going to do yet?
No.
Don't you think it's about time?
I haven't thought about it yet.
Harold, God has work for everyone to do. There are no idle hands in his kingdom.
I'm not in his kingdom.
Harold, we are all in his kingdom. I'm worried about you too much, Harold. I know the temptations you must have faced. I remember the stories my father and my grandfather used to tell me. I prayed for you all day long, Harold. Your father is worried too. He doesn't see you getting a job. I mean, just look at all the boys in the neighborhood. Charlie Simmons has got a job, and he's engaged. So many of these boys, they're moving on with their lives, and you need to do the same. That's why me and your father discussed you taking out the car. We're completely fine with you going out late at night, taking girls with you. We just want you to do something.
Is that all?
Yes, Harold. Don't you love your mother, dear boy?
No, I don't love anybody. Oh, Mother, I didn't mean that. I was mad about something else. Please, Mother, please believe me. You got to believe me, please. Mother, please, please.
No, Mommy. I'll try to be a good boy for you.
Would you kneel and pray with me, Harold?
I can't.
Try.
I can't.
Harold, do you want me to pray for you?
Yes.
So his mother prayed for him, and they stood up, and Cribs kissed his mother and went out of the house. He had tried so to keep his life from being complicated. Still, none of it had touched him. He had felt sorry for his mother, and she had made him lie. He would go to Kansas City and get a job, and she would feel all right about it. There would be one more scene, maybe, before he got away. He would not go down to his father's office. He would miss that one. He wanted his life to go smoothly. It had just gotten going that way. Well, that was all over now, anyway. He would go over to the schoolyard and watch Helen play indoor baseball.